G'day everyone, welcome back to the Fishroom. Well, today's video hopefully will be interesting for you and you should be able to do this stuff at home. It's all about these guys, the humble sponge filters. I have to upgrade the sponge filter that's currently in the Pseudotropheus psilocybe tank. As you can see, it's just one single sponge filter for this whole tank, and that's just not doing the job. And I'm actually thinking about moving those guys over the back over here to this tank, which is on my main hard water sump, and I think the fish will actually just do way better in that tank, especially with some consistent clean water. That one over there has been a bit dirty, and I've lost a couple of fish, and I think it's time to upgrade that. So I'm going to show you a couple of different methods the way that I do it. It's you could call them aquarium hack. It's just what I do. I'm going to double stack them like this, and I've actually got an air stone in here, and I'm also going to show you how I do the moving biomedia bed sponge filters that I've got as well, which work super well. I've got them up in the rainbow tank, and yeah, so go and get comfy because I am going to talk about fish. I'm also going to talk about sponge filters and a few other things that randomly pop up throughout the thing. So let's go and get into it. Okay, so I'm just going to move my bench, which I'm super happy with this bench because it pushes nicely up against this tank here, pushes up nicely here and here. It also goes as a center, and it was an old fish tank stand that I put on casters. So I'm going to use it today to sit in front of my tank, which if you haven't seen, please go and check out my video on how I put this together. But it is one of my favorite spots to just hang around, as I've probably said many times. And I hope you guys aren't getting sick of it. But yeah, look at this, the natural behavior of these guys. Just hanging out up here in the roots. It's so cool. When the sun's really bright, they hang out in the shade, as it were. Doing well. Anyway, so let's get into the sponge filters. I'll show you over here one more time the current state of this tank. It's all right. It's not bad. I do water changes on it all the time. It's not filthy, but there's enough mulm in here to warrant getting it out. Of course, all around the sponge filter, I'll double stack that sponge filter. I might even put the biomedia filter in here. I don't know. I've just got an air stone running in there. And where I want to move these guys to, I'm thinking, which will be on this sump, which is my hard water sump. Over here, I got all the endlers out the other day. Sold quite a few fish to my mates. Just bought a fish shop down in Tweed Heads, and Unique Aquariums is what it's called, and a lot of my fish went down there. I've cleaned out quite a few tanks, which is cool. He helped me, which was great. But this tank here, this is the one I had the lay lupi in. That's going to probably be pretty, oh no, you might say okay. Lots of rocks and a sponge filter, so I'm thinking I'll put a biomedia filter in there as well and make that one for the Pseudotropheus psilocybe. It's not ideal for me to see them all the time, but reality is they're a bit skittish in this tank for some reason of late, and they don't seem overly happy, and I think they'll actually enjoy the peace and quiet. They'll be on the same system as these guys, which are doing brilliantly. These are Alanacara Cobuis, and yeah, they'll be up there in a larger tank, and heaps and heaps of rocks. I think I'll set it up as a breeding structure for them. I'll take a lot of these rocks out of here. This tank here, I'd actually like to get a predator fish of some sort. I've been saying that for a bit. So I'll probably pull it down, move them up there at some point in time, and then, yeah, I think I'll get either a barramundi, maybe an Oscar, or a flower horn. So one of those three is probably what I'm thinking of there at the moment. And Oscar would be great because he would follow me around the tank, and he would certainly be pretty personal. What do you think, Zeke? Yeah, you don't really like Oscars, do you? He's looking for Wally, who is still here, by the way. I'll get cracking on that and show you Wally a bit later, but he was just down there. So, all right, let's get into the sponge filters, and then I'll give you a bit more of a look around shortly. Okie doke. So this is how your sponge filters obviously normally look, bog standard. I'm going to take the top off of here. I already have cut one of these down by half or a bit more. that I'll use, so I'll save that for another sponge filter. And then just pull the top off, leave him there, and pull these guys out. Now, if you haven't used sponge filters before, these things basically just connect together. You could triple stack this if you wanted to. But what I've done, just to show you, essentially I'm providing twice as much filtration. But to do that, I think it always needs to have more air drawing upwards, which means there's more water flow going through the sponge up into the center and then out the top. So the plan is that these guys here, I'll just do this one. Okay, so the plan now is I'm going to feed the airline through the top three, and it'll just go through the sections in the middle there. Hopefully this will focus. So you can see right through the middle there, I'm just feeding the airline in through one of these holes here. And then what I'm going to do for the last one is I'm going to cut those sections I just showed you out, and then and I've already done that with this one, and you should be able to see that here, that this was actually the spine that went in here. And as you can see, so I've taken that out of there. That was just in here like so. And then I cut with the pair of scissors around here, take the center out, and then I've actually got room now for the air stone to go in. And the reason that you want the air stone in here is to essentially supercharge that flow, the upflow that you get through the middle here, which will draw in more of the waste through the sponge into these guys. So all I do is put that into there. Once it hits the bottom, then you just need to drag the airline up just a whisker, make sure it just fits. Right to the bottom's good, because that means where you're getting it drawn from. And then that's how that works. That will just clip into here, but to do that, I've got these two sponge filters, which I just feed through the center of the top one. And then we're into center of the second one. And we're good to go. Now, you can just use your ordinary for this one, which I probably will, the ordinary air uplift riser, I guess. Let me just check and make sure that's in focus. And as you can see, that was a pretty simple exercise. Just connect this to your little pump that you've got, or your main airline, which I've got, and then it's away. Okay, so the next job is, you can also put one of these on here too without any problems. But the next job is attaching this plastic bottle, or this plastic bottle. Any plastic bottle will actually work, and making sure that then you have the right size pipe down here to actually join to the size of the airline adapter on the top of the sponge filter. So they all come in different sizes. I think these two are slightly different as they are, and this one here same. So normally the plastic airline riser fits inside this little space in here, but what we want to do, I've got some 1-inch pipe that will actually fit over the outside of it quite well, and I have melted in here. Let me just show you closer. So what I've done, you might see here that I've melted and crimped the pipe with a pair of multi-grips, like so. And that's squeezed up, obviously, the diameter of the bottle opening to now fit quite snugly. So this is a flange end or a socket piece, and it squeezes in there quite nicely now, and you can see it's not loose at all, which is perfect if I want to take it off and actually clean it out as well. And the airline will just come straight out the top here. I'm also going to drill some holes in here to let the rest of the air out, but that's how it looks when it's completed. So the trick is, without burning yourself or anything else, I just use a lighter. If you've got a butane torch or something like that, awesome. I do about 1/3 of the plastic. I do it on the outside because I think I can wash it off easier, whatever the black soot goes on there. And I make sure I heat just the whole length of that thread. Slide this inside. Grab my trusty multi-grips. It should be soft enough, hopefully. Give it a nice tight squeeze. And then just hold that squeeze until the plastic goes hard again. And in theory, it should be nice and firm to come in and out. The other trick I do sometimes is I'll wrap a little bit of filter floss or that white cotton candy stuff around here and squish it in so it sort of jams in as well. You only want the outlet. You don't want up there because the biomedia will get stuck in down here. You want it to be somewhere like there, basically, even with the start of the slopes on either side, or on all sides, of course, of the bottle. Okay, you might even be able to see better in the sunlight there how that's crimped, perhaps, if it'll let you see that. So now we've got the air into here. We've got to get it out of here. So the way to do that, I think this is a 6mm drill bit. So I'll just drill a couple of holes, one through the center for the airline. So you should be able to see the hole through the center, through here, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 around the outside, which should be enough to let the air out of there. I'll just show you what Zig's doing. Zig loves plastic bottles, and he would do anything for me to throw in this plastic bottle, and he could go and chew it. But no, Zig, this one's for the fish room. I'm sorry. Okay, so now the plan at this point in time, and hopefully you can still see there, we don't need the drill anymore for this one, is to now fill this full of the biomedia. So I'm going to take, pro tip, take that out because it is painful. Trying to feed these guys, which I think is, I think it's K3 media. I'll just show you that up close. So that's it there. I think it's K3, and I've had it in lots of tanks and tubs before. I've got a ton of it spare. So okay, so as you can see, that's all in there. It's not coming out through the holes, obviously way larger size. I'm now just going to push the airline up through the middle, in theory. Okay, so that's through there now. Nice and easy flow. What I'm going to do is attach this air uplift. I think you can hear Ziggy out there. Zig, come here. Mate, come here. So, thank you. So now I've got the air uplift tube over the top. I'm now going to put the air hose, if it will fit, onto there. So I like to make that quite a nice and tight fit, as far down onto the outlet as it will go. Same with that, push that in nice and tight. Trick here is to pull the airline through. That should be a nice tight fit. There we go. And then the stuff shouldn't come out of the bottom. All right. This, of course, then just goes on top, and you have a supercharged biomedia, floating biomedia filter. Okay, let's go and put these guys in. So it's the next day. It's quite a nice day out here. Zig's lost his ball. Where is your ball, Zig? Where's your ball? Anyway, it's been not quite 24 hours, but coming up to it, I guess. Yes, my outdoor tank is still not been progressed any further. It's going to go out here, I think. I'm still pretty sure. Did I mention how much I love my tank in the sun? Still to clean up from last night. Everyone here is doing really well. I've actually decided to take up some names that were suggested to me for a couple of reasons. One, I said I didn't want to name him Nemo, but my granddaughter named him Nemo, and I sort of didn't really want to change that. And also because I found out that this black clownfish here is actually a native Australian colour morph. They appear this way in the wild. In Darwin, it's called the Darwin clownfish. So given she's black and white, I've decided to go with Nemo and Emo, and that was a suggestion that was given to me by a subscriber as well. So thank you very much for that. And then it was just happened to be, oops, sorry, didn't mean to do that, guys. I hate it when people bump my tanks. Yeah, so Emo and Nemo, once I just learned that, yeah, she's an Australian girl. Okay, this is how this tank looks. I'll give you a better look when the door's down. Did about a 30% water change on it. Sponge filter's flowing really well. I've got quite a decent amount of airflow through there. Still attracting some mold from yesterday when I siphoned it out, so I'll get a bit more out of there, but I'm very happy with that. The air stone that I've got inside there is doing pretty well. I'm happy with that amount of flow. And this one I actually really enjoy, for some reason, this continuous motion. And yeah, it's quite, I don't know, what would you say? I guess enthralling might be hypnotic, another word, 2 words. So, all right. And yeah, it's going to gather quite a bit of, especially with that stuff on top, a mulm in here. But what we'll do is anything that does come out through there will actually get churned up and, you know, pulverized really. All right. I'll see if I can shut that door and give you a better look. Okay, time for a quick Q&A session. I did get a couple in last week, and if you've got some questions you'd like to have me answer in the fish room, please send them in. I would love to hear from you. So the first one is, where's Wally? So he is around. I'll give you a quick look. So I've got to say, it's probably pretty much every second day I get to catch up with young Wally here. I saw him yesterday, and he's out today looking for more food. He's looking pretty healthy. I haven't bought him any more crickets for probably, oh, at least 2 weeks now. What are you doing, dude? I'm not going to hurt you, you know that. But I did give him some earthworms yesterday, so he's probably out looking for that. And I've learnt that he sleeps down here. These 2 tanks I've just cleaned out actually with the help of Tom. Got some more antlers in here, tons of shrimp in here, but he sleeps here on top of the fluoro, which is quite warm, obviously, when it's been on all day, and that's what he does. But yeah, he is still here, and thank you for the question. And yeah, hopefully he'll be around for a lot longer. Okay, question 2 should be an easy one, and it's what music do I play over my time lapse, which I play in all my videos, of course, and it's called Little Umbrellas, and it's got Track Tribe after. I think it's off iMovies, but I can show you what I've got of it, and that's where I got it from. Okay, well that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it with the sponge filter setup that I've done. It's just one way that I can, show you that I've done things before. I found it really, really successful, particularly with the moving biofilter and the media that's going on in there. So give it a crack. It's easy, it's cheap, and yeah, it can only, I think, enhance your aquarium. So anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me for this long. I truly appreciate it. If you haven't liked or subscribed already, I would really, really appreciate that. That's for sure. I am trying to grow the little channel. So thank you very, very much to each and every one of you. I love to read your comments. Thanks, and bye for now. That's just not doing the job. And I make today I'm going to show you the double stacking method like this with a so I do have plans for that tank though, and yeah, if you so go and get comfy, because I am going to talk about fish, but more importantly, sponge filters and yeah, supercharging them. So anyway, let's go and get in it. So go and get comfy, because I am going to talk about fish, but more importantly, the sponge filters and actually getting them nice and healthy for come on. And yeah, come on. Around this 1-inch pipe. Now this is what I've done here. It works out. This is a fitting end, a flange end. Okay, well, this week we've got a short Q and answer section. So Q&A. Okay, so a quick Q&A time. I didn't get too many questions last week, so if you have a few, send them in. I will try to do them and answer them in this. Okay, time for a quick Q&A session. I got a couple of questions in last week, and okay, it's time for a quick Q&A session. I did get a couple of questions in last week. Fuck me. I should probably just do this with AI. That would be the smartest thing to do.